Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 1st of June 2023 and unfortunately guys, the prices of Bitcoin and global cryptocurrency market has definitely fallen down and it's going to be really interesting to see once we find out more information regarding the US debt ceiling. And listen guys, once that news is out, I'm pretty much sure that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will definitely pump up. And the reason why I'm saying that is, if you look at the crypto greed and fear index, it is currently at neutral. Ideally, when the prices tends to go down, it is fear or extreme fear, and the number associated to fear and greed index for Bitcoin is at neutral at 51. Now in today's episode, I'll go ahead and explain how that number is derived and what data points are used in order to measure that index. And guys, regarding Bitcoin, we have some massive news, and one of the OGs and probably one of the best advocates of Bitcoin, called as Dr. Saifuddin Amos, he has joined El Salvador's Bitcoin office, so I'll definitely go ahead and explain what that news is all about. But listen guys, one of the biggest news that is circulating in the cryptocurrency world is a leading exchange in Canada called Bybit. And guess what guys, they have decided to leave Canada, and I'm pretty much sure that they already have their offices set up in Dubai. So it looks like a lot of the cryptocurrency exchanges are leaving the Western countries and moving to UAE and in particular Dubai. So I'll definitely go ahead and explain what that news is all about. Guys, one of the biggest trends that is going on, not just in the cryptocurrency world, but so far as technology is concerned, is that of Nvidia. Now Nvidia will play a massive role, particularly in Metaverse. But the biggest news is that looks like they are joining the $1 trillion club. And as of today guys, Nvidia is definitely much bigger than Meta and even bigger than Tesla as well. So I'll definitely go ahead and talk about it. And guys, every Fridays, what I tend to do is I release an episode called Metaverse Everything. And last year guys, when I released the first few episodes on Metaverse, I very specifically mentioned about Nvidia's and their role in Metaverse. And looks like guys, with the hype surrounding artificial intelligence, Nvidia is definitely looking good. And even the market cap of Nvidia is absolutely brilliant. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore that in today's episode. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. The first news guys is about Dubai LW Technology, and they have successfully acquired Ledger Block International Technology. So I'll go ahead and explain what that news is all about. And the second news guys is about UAE Central Bank, and they have issued new anti-money laundering guidance for cryptocurrencies. Now this news is relatively short, so I'll try to give my thoughts and opinion on this. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, so let's get started with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and Metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retailer and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3, and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, unfortunately, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have fallen down quite a lot. The global cryptocurrency market is at $1.14 trillion. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.72%. I very strongly feel, guys, because of the anticipation of the US debt ceiling, the prices have gone down, and once we get more clarity, and once the voting actually takes place, which is currently taking place right now in the US House of Senate, we might get some more indication and clarity on the US debt ceiling. And once that news is out, it will definitely give the entire world economy a breather particularly in the global cryptocurrency market as well. Now, the total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is only at $32.85 billion, but since the last 24 hours, guys, it is up by 6.95%. The total volume in DeFi is ridiculously low at $2.62 billion, and so far as the total value locked is concerned, guys, it is down to $46.57 billion, and Lido, guys, is clearly dominating at 28.28%, and so far as its total value locked is concerned, it is at $13.17 billion. Now, guys, just one tiny quiz regarding DeFi. Prior to 2023, which particular protocol was dominating so far as the total value locked is concerned? Mention them in the comments below. And to be honest, guys, the answer should not be surprising because it is often called as a boomer DeFi protocol. Now, DeFi still accounts for 7.99% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, let's quickly look at the 24-hour volume of DeFi protocols. Uniswap is clearly an outlier, and its 24-hour trading volume is $868.62 million, followed by PancakeSwap at $319.94 million. Dodo, guys, has surprisingly made a comeback today, and it is number 3rd at $136.58 million. And I'm really not sure, guys, what happened yesterday, because yesterday number 3rd and number 4th were completely different protocols, which I haven't seen in a very, very long time. So really, I'm not sure if there's some kind of anomaly, some kind of an update, or what is it that is going on. But nonetheless, the number 4th is Curve Finance at $112.82 million, followed by Trader Joe at $41.21 million. The volume of stable coins, guys, is once again ridiculously bad, and it is only at $30.33 billion. And listen to this, guys. Despite the volume being low, stable coins is accounting for 92.33% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. There has been days, guys, and most likely in 2022, where the volume of stable coins was accounting for well over 96% of the total crypto market volume. This is absolutely not ideal. Now, out of this $30.33 billion, Tether USDT accounts for $23.06 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $2.73 billion and Binance BUSD at $1.90 billion. And guys, a few days ago in my Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, I did talk about Binance BUSD's market cap, which did go down from $16 billion, and I talked about how over 60% of its market cap has gone down, but looks like the trend is continuing. And as of today, guys, Binance BUSD's market cap is only at $5.19 billion. And guys, listen, I wouldn't be surprised in the next few days maybe Binance BUSD's market cap will actually go below the $5 billion mark. Circle USDC's market cap is $28.87 billion. So look at the difference, guys. The market cap of Circle USDC is $28.87 billion. Its 24-hour trading volume is less than 1/10 of its market cap at $2.73 billion. But if you look at Tether USDC's market cap, for some odd reason it is on an incline, and it is currently at $83.18 billion. I really am hoping we do not find out some notorious history or some notorious activity going on regarding Tether USDT. Now, the volume of Tether USDT does actually make a lot of sense because people do actually use Tether USDT, but its market cap just does not make any sense. Now, guys, the next matrix that I'm going to be talking about is privacy coins. And in today's episode, guys, I'm going to be discussing Decred protocol. So this week, what I've been doing is I've been breaking down each privacy coins. And next week, guys, maybe I'll try to cover DeFi or something else. Now, so far as privacy coins is concerned, Monero is clearly an outlier and its market cap is $2.67 billion. Mask Network is $352 million and Zcash is at $275 million. Now listen, guys, if you do want to look at all these data, you can go to Messari.io and you can actually segregate it, let's say based on smart contracting platforms or DeFi or privacy coins. Now, so far as Decred is concerned, guys, it is not mentioned in CoinMarketCap. But if you do want to find out more information, you can actually go to Kraken and just get an understanding of what Decred is. But let me try to give you some information on what Decred is. Now, its ticker symbol is DCR, and as I mentioned earlier, you'll not find this in CoinMarketCap. And Decred, guys, is one of the earliest cryptocurrencies, and Decred did actually copy Bitcoin's code and modified it in an effort to empower and reward the token holders who contributed to changes to its network. And the reason, guys, they did that is because it was kind of like an experiment with ways to encourage user participation in its governance process and offered a really novel idea in doing so. Now, with this thing in mind, guys, the Decred team engineered Decred as a hybrid consensus mechanism with some components of proof of work and some components of proof of stake as well. So how this worked is the proof of work miners were actually verifying the transactions, whereas the proof of stake miners were proposing and voting on network upgrades. And Decrypt, guys, uses a proposal system called Spalatia essentially to tie this all together, where stakeholders vote on project funding, new initiatives, and various other changes to protocol's code. So let me try to break it down. How does Decrypt actually work? Now, Decrypt, as I mentioned earlier, was created by copying Bitcoin's code, and thus the cryptocurrency offers similar features with some modification. So far as block time is concerned, guys, a Decrypt block is produced roughly around every 5 minutes, and so far as Bitcoin is concerned, the block is produced every 10 minutes or so. Now, as you know, guys, Bitcoin's mining difficulty adjustments happen every 2016 block, which is roughly around 2 weeks. But so far as Decrypt is concerned, the mining gets adjusted roughly around 12 hours. Now, so far as the block reward is concerned, the block reward for Bitcoin changes every 4 hours, and it is halved every 4 hours. But so far as Decrypt is concerned, guys, the initial reward was 31.19x numbers DCR and halves every 6,144 blocks, which is roughly around 21 days only. Now, so far as the block reward allocation is concerned, guys, and this is where it gets interesting. Bitcoin's miners get 100% of the rewards, but in case of Decrypt, 60% of the miners get the reward, whereas 30% to stakers, and the next 10% goes to his treasury. Now, one commonality between Decrypt and Bitcoin is that they have a fixed supply of 21 million. Let me try to give you some very basic information on what Spalatia is. It is a governance system which is implemented by Decrypt, and what that does is it aims to create an open environment for new ideas and a voting system for accepting and implementing them. And guys, listen, users who wish to offer potential upgrades to policy or make changes can do so using Spalatia public proposal web platform that facilitates the submission, tracking, and discussion of suggested changes to Decrypt governance. Now, what do you guys think? Is there a future for Decrypt? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now, unfortunately, guys, the price of Bitcoin has gone down. It is currently at $27,195. And just few days ago, guys, it did actually cross the $28,000 mark. Now, unfortunately, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.90%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 3.26%. Ethereum is at $1,871. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.57%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 3.93%. Binance Coin is at $306. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.74%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 0.16%. And listen, guys, I'm really hoping once you get some clarity regarding the US debt ceiling, it is definitely going to have a massive impact, not just on the global cryptocurrency market, but in the finance world as well. And this is the notion, guys. Politics and politicians, they have a massive say in the trajectory and direction of cryptocurrencies. And speaking of politics, one of the extreme left-leaning president is definitely not a fan of cryptocurrencies. And unfortunately, guys, Bybit, one of the cryptocurrency exchange, has actually mentioned that they put up a notice on exit from the Canadian market. And effective 31st of May 2023, Bybit will no longer be accepting account opening applications by any identified Canadian residents and existing Canadian nationals. Now, if you do want to find out the official information, and if you're a Canadian, what I'd really recommend you to do is read through the official blog. It is literally just 1 page long. And Bybit, guys, is withdrawing from Canada and has suspended new registrations from Canadian residents as of Wednesday. And starting 31st of July, Canadians will be unable to deposit funds. However, they can still withdraw and reduce the trading positions for the time being. And I'm pretty much sure, guys, that Bybit has definitely set up the office in Dubai and UAE. And listen, guys, one thing which I often say is left-leaning ideologies, left-leaning politicians are definitely not in favor of Bitcoin, definitely not in favor of cryptocurrencies, and definitely not in favor of open speech as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens to the future of cryptocurrencies, keeping in mind politics. Now, guys, let me try to share some information regarding the Fear and Greed Index. Now, as of today, the number is 51, which means that the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index and the overall crypto sentiment is relatively neutral. You will hear a lot of cryptocurrency influencers talking about the Fear and Greed Index, but let me try to break it down. How does things actually work? So essentially, this number is derived from 6 things. Volatility, guys, is one of the major criteria, and it does account for 25% of the matrix, followed by market momentum volume, which accounts for 25%, social media interaction 15%, dominance 10%, trends via Google is 10%, and surveys, guys, which are temporarily halted right now, but they account for 15%. And what is really important to note, guys, cryptocurrency influencers who often talk about fear and greed index always try to make predictions, but as I always say, guys, all price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. And let me try to break down these 6 criteria further. Now, in case if you do want to find out this information, the website where everyone looks at is alternative.me. So please make sure that you follow this particular website. And let me try to break it down even further how these criteria are described. And so far as volatility is concerned, it accounts for 25%. So essentially what they do is they measure the current volatility and maximum drawdowns of Bitcoin and compare them with average value of the last 30 days and 90 days, and then they argue that an unusual high volatility indicates a fearful market. Now the second criteria, that is market momentum volume, also accounts for 25%. So essentially what they do is they measure the current volume and market momentum of Bitcoin, comparing them with average values for the last 30 days and 90 days, and by analyzing buying volumes in a positive market on a daily basis, they determine if the market is aggressively greedy or bullish. And the third criteria, guys, is social media, which accounts for 15%, while the Reddit sentiment analysis is not yet included in the live index. Their Twitter analysis is still going on. So what the website does is they gather and count posts on various hashtags of Bitcoin and assess the speed and number of interactions they receive within specific time frames. And an unusually high interaction rate indicates increased public interest and corresponds to a greedy market behavior. So it looks like this particular website does take a lot of consideration. It's going to be really interesting to see what kind of software that they use. Now the fifth point, guys, that they mentioned is surveys, but they have temporarily halted this right now. Now they conduct weekly crypto polls in collaboration with strawpoll.com, which is a large public polling platform. These polls ask people about the views in the market, and they usually receive 2,000 to 3,000 votes on each poll. Now while they don't give out the results significant weightage, they do provide some insights into the sentiment of a group of crypto investors. And guys, the final 2 points is dominance, which accounts for 10%, and trends, which account for 10%. Now so far as dominance is concerned, coin dominance represents the market share of the entire crypto market, and they believe that a rise in Bitcoin dominance indicates a fear-driven reduction in speculative alternative investments, as Bitcoin is seen as a safe haven in the crypto market. Now conversely, guys, a decrease in Bitcoin dominance suggests increased greed and investment in riskier altcoins. However, this analysis may vary for coins other than Bitcoin, as greater interest in altcoin may indicate a bullish or greedy market behavior specific to that coin. And finally, guys, they also look at trends, and they analyze Google trend data for various Bitcoin-related queries, focusing on changes in search volumes and popular related searches. For example, guys, an increase in 1,550% in the search query Bitcoin price manipulation suggests fear in the market, and they incorporate this information into the index. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, make sure that you look at this information probably on a daily basis or at least 3 to 4 times a week. Now granted, this may not be accurate, but it just gives you some idea on the sentiment of Bitcoin and in which direction the global cryptocurrency market is heading towards. And as I mentioned, guys, the prices of Bitcoin and global cryptocurrency market has been going down, but if you look at the market sentiment, it is neutral, and I'm pretty much sure this is in anticipation of the news regarding the US debt ceiling. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding the Bitcoin office, and the Bitcoin standard has actually met with the Bitcoin office, and this would create a winning team. Now Dr. Saifuddin Amos, one of the OGs and if not one of the best content creators on Bitcoin, did actually recently travel to El Salvador to lecture students of the inaugural prestigious Bitcoin and Lightning Network Developer Program. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, please make sure that you follow Dr. Saifuddin Amos's podcast. He has, if not one of the most brilliant podcasts, maybe of all time. Now, recently, he did meet with President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador and shared his thoughts on the remarkable benefits of the policy of economic liberty. They also discussed El Salvador's Bitcoin policy and how to get more of the world to understand the value proposition of Bitcoin. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, make sure that you follow Dr. Saifuddin Amos via LinkedIn. And just 2 hours ago, he just posted a video via his LinkedIn, which is a YouTube article, which is regarding a talk that he gave on Bitcoin Miami 2023. So absolutely brilliant stuff. Now guys, let's discuss some massive news, and this is regarding Nvidia, and they are if not one of the giants so far as chips is concerned. And Nvidia, guys, has overtaken Meta and even Tesla by market cap, and Nvidia is edging towards the trillion-dollar company on the back of artificial intelligence. And guys, now it is more valuable than some of the market's biggest names. Now listen guys, Nigel Green, who's the CEO and founder of the World Group, he did actually post an article where he did actually mention that the future of money is in chips, and I 100% agree to it. And if you look at this particular news now, it does make a lot of sense. And guys, listen, in my Metaverse Everything podcast, I did actually have a session where I talked about the New World Order, and Joe Biden did actually mention that we are heading towards a New World Order, and most likely the chips industry and the semiconductor industry will be a dominant player, and looks like Nvidia is coming out a leader. And guys, listen, when I talk about Metaverse related protocols and Metaverse related topics, I often mention about Nvidia, and if you do want to check the progress of Metaverse, you definitely need to be updated in what is going on in Nvidia, and they often have quite a lot of sessions explaining what Nvidia is. Now Decrypt did actually post an article a few days ago that Nvidia stock saw double digits following revenue uptick due to the whole hype of artificial intelligence. I 100% agree to this guys, and Nvidia shares did actually soar by 27.6%, capitulating the market towards a $1 trillion market cap. Now looks like Nvidia will be joining the $1 trillion club, which consists of only 5 members, that is Apple, Saudi Aramco, Microsoft, Alphabet and Amazon. And guys, Nvidia are known for its graphic processing hardware and CUDA tech crucial for modern artificial intelligence development, and the firm's stock did actually soar following the firm's latest earning reports, which outlined how much Nvidia has backed amid the latest artificial intelligence hype. And this year guys, at Computex 2023, the firm's CEO, that is Henson Zhuang, showcased a cornucopia of artificial intelligence-infused tech during this 2-hour keynote speech. I really recommend you to check it out. I really am not sure if that video is available on YouTube after this recording session. I personally will definitely check it out. Now, we did highlight the different ways generative artificial intelligence and accelerated computing will continue to transform the world. So my big question, guys, is how will the news regarding Nvidia impact the world of Metaverse? Now, in tomorrow's episode called Metaverse Everything, I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information regarding Nvidia, but it's going to be more connected towards Metaverse. Now, guys, let's discuss 2 news regarding Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. And now, the first news, guys, is regarding Dubai-based LGBT technology, and they have successfully acquired LedgerBlock International Technology. So let me try to give out some piece of information. Now, LGBT Technology is a subsidiary of Algeria Group, and the acquisition aims to advance blockchain technology and expand operations in the region. And LedgerBlock, guys, has a substantial user base of 500,000 members across 60 countries. And Algeria plans to transition LedgerBlock to a decentralized autonomous organization model, also called as DAO. The acquisition signifies a significant investment in blockchain technology and the LBVV coin. And Algeria aims to introduce cutting-edge blockchain technology to the market. And guys, LBVV coin was launched on May 18, 2023 and is currently valued at 33 cents. Now let me try to give out very basic level information regarding LBVV coin, because they can be obtained through various cryptocurrency exchanges, with PancakeSwap being the current provider. And I believe, guys, they also updated on CoinMarketCap as well, providing transparent price tracking. Now LedgerBlock offers an NFT marketplace for purchasing and collecting NFTs, and LedgerBlock's roadmap includes developing blockchain applications, cryptocurrency, NFT markets, avatars, metaverse, metacommerce, gamify, and hash games. And the previous management of LedgerBlock will actually step aside. Now, this news, guys, just does not make any sense, because how can a company acquire a so-called distributed platform? But nonetheless, let me try to give out some bits and pieces of information regarding LedgerBlock, because LedgerBlock focuses on developing and promoting future investment platforms and payment gateways to blockchain cryptocurrency technology. And LedgerBlock offers marketing services, software education and training, IT infrastructure, internet content provision, data entry services, and social media application development and management. And LedgerBlock conducts foresights and strategic studies and spearheads networking-based programs at various levels. And Captain Mohammed Ikna Shafiq, the marketing director of LedgerBlock, expressed excitement about the new ownership and the potential for growth and success. And Algeria aims to become a major player in the blockchain industry. And Algeria is committed to bringing innovative solutions to clients and serving new customers with advanced blockchain technological solutions. So what are your thoughts, guys? Most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them an email and see if I can get them on my podcast. Now guys, let's discuss second news, and this is going on quite a lot in LinkedIn as well. The news is that the UAE Central Bank issues new anti-money laundering guidance for cryptocurrencies. So let me try to give out bits and pieces of information. Now the UAE Central Bank has issued new guidance for financial institutions regarding anti-money laundering or AML and counter-terrorism financing, also called as CTF, when dealing with virtual assets, and the guidance specifically addresses virtual assets such as cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens or NFTs, and the purpose of the guidance is to highlight the risk associated with virtual assets, and virtual asset service providers and licensed financial institutions are required to exercise due diligence when dealing with customers and counterparties involved in virtual asset transactions. And guys, the guidance will be effective within 1 month from its issuance, and the scope of the guidance covers various entities including banks, financial companies, exchange houses, payment service providers, registered hawala providers, and insurance companies, agents, and brokers. And guys, the UAE Central Bank has taken into consideration the standards set by Financial Action Task Force, also called as FATF, in developing this guidance, and the FATF, guys, in March of 2022 placed the UAE on its grey list, subjecting to its increased monitoring, and the UAE has expressed its commitment to working closely with the FATF to enhance its AML and CTF measures. And guys, the new guidance aims to align the UAE's regulations with international AML and CTF standards, and financial institutions must consider the unique risks associated with virtual assets and implement appropriate measures to mitigate those risks, and due diligence measures should be implemented when onboarding and conducting transactions involving virtual asset customers and counterparties. And the guidance, guys, emphasizes the importance of robust customer identification and verification process. Enhanced monitoring and reporting requirements may be necessary for higher risk virtual asset transactions. So really, I'm not sure at this point of time I can comment and say that it is a positive news, but it's definitely a news that one should abide to. And guys, financial institutions should ensure that they have adequate system and control in place to detect and prevent money laundering and terrorist financing through virtual assets. Ongoing monitoring of virtual asset transactions and customer activity is crucial to identify and report suspicious transactions, and the guidance serves as a comprehensive framework for financial institutions to enhance the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing practices in the virtual asset space, and compliance with these guidelines is mandatory for the specified entities operating with the UAE's financial sector. And guys, what I feel is that the issuance of this guidance does actually demonstrate UAE's commitment to combating financial crimes related to virtual assets and protecting the integrity of its financial system. So definitely a really interesting and positive news. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Matt who asks, do you think artificial intelligence news will take over Metaverse? I 100% think so, Matt. And to be honest, I use a lot of artificial intelligence programs. Particularly, I use ChatGPT quite a lot in my podcast, but I know quite a lot of other people who've already implemented tools by artificial intelligence in the day-to-day life. Now, so far as Metaverse is concerned, the news has completely died down, particularly in 2023. And to be honest, Matt, this is a very brilliant question because there are news circulating regarding Meta and Mark Zuckerberg. He did actually state that his focus is shifting more towards artificial intelligence than Metaverse, which I kind of agree to. And at a macro level, Matt, one of the reasons why I do think artificial intelligence news has taken over Metaverse is because of the user adoption. Now look at ChatGPT's user adoption. It is definitely taken the world by storm. And at this point of time, if you're not using ChatGPT, I really am not sure what are you doing, because it does solve quite a lot of problems and makes life so much more easier. Now that thing being said, there are a couple of challenges as well. And one of the reasons, Matt, why I do think artificial intelligence news has taken over Metaverse world by storm is because of the user experience. Now look, if you use ChatGPT, the output that it provides is literally 10 times much better than what a normal individual will do. And one thing which I've often mentioned, Matt, is that in Metaverse the user experience is not 10 times better. Just switching current existing systems to Metaverse will not cut it. The user experience has to be 10 times better. And artificial intelligence and protocols such as ChatGPT, AutoGPT, and GPT-4 is definitely offering a 10x better user experience, maybe even a 25x better user experience. And I very specifically remember, Matt, Bill Gates did actually say a comment regarding artificial intelligence in connection to crypto, and what he did actually state is that crypto does need a ChatGPT moment, which I 100% agree to. So to answer your question, Matt, yes, I do think artificial intelligence news has definitely overtaken Metaverse news, and I wouldn't be surprised if the news regarding artificial intelligence will be continuing at least for the next coming days, maybe in the next coming decades as well. So that's it, guys, from Ask Me Anything Serious in Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, pure blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East, and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.